once again, Liverpool.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world. And welcome to our match preview show for the Leeds United game. Of course, a huge game tomorrow night against Leeds United. But of course, there's been a lot different news today, if you want to call it that, of course, concerning the European Super League. We will be talking about that before we do get into the match preview show tonight. If any of you want to get in and have your thoughts and have your say, please let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll obviously put a link into the chat. And there you guys have at it, because I know there are people that are angry. I'm angry myself. We'll get into it in a little bit, of course. But guys, please do let me know, how you lot are doing today. No videos the last couple of days. I just thought, we'll do one on a Sunday, and yeah, well, why not? And I'm glad we actually did now, because we do actually have some stuff to talk about anyway. But of course, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, as always. Of course, Seamus is in saying good evening, hello mate, hopefully having a fantastic day. Chris is in saying hi mate, hope you're well. Was having a good day until it's absolute nonsense and disgraceful news. Yeah, of course, the news about the European Super League. I don't think anyone are happy about it, and rightfully so. I can't believe that Liverpool are the main focus point towards this. And Gary Neville said it perfectly, and I'll let Gary Neville speak in a minute on here, even though I know all of us don't like Gary Neville, but to be fair, he did have a fantastic point, and I don't think anyone can argue against him, to be fair. Seamus says this Super League is a disgrace, running football. Yeah, and look, the European Super League, if none of you guys don't know anyway, apparently there's meant to be a statement, I believe at 9 o'clock or 9:30, confirming all of this, and the details through it anyway. But the 6 teams from the Premier League: Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, and Tottenham. And I believe there's one more. Well, I believe it's Arsenal. I can't remember if it is Arsenal or not, but 6 English teams anyway are going to be a part of major teams in Europe anyway, to go away from the UEFA Champions League and go into the European Super League. Of course, it's been a thing of discussion since probably 2018, 2019, I believe. And look, it doesn't help anyone out. It just doesn't. And look, I've seen plenty of people going, oh, well, the elite team should play the elite teams. But for me, the elite is the Champions League, and that has always been the elite thing, I think, for me and many other people as well. And look, will it benefit Liverpool money wise? Yes, of course it was. But would it benefit English football itself? No, it wouldn't. Not absolutely none whatsoever. And realistically, it doesn't it doesn't affect Liverpool in the ways that they think it would, if you get what I mean. It will be very disappointing towards the fans. Look, all of us get very excited for a Champions League game, and look, as we know now, if Liverpool were to go on and go into this European Super League, then that does mean that the Premier League, by all things anyway, would exclude us from the Premier League. So there'll be no league competition for Liverpool if that was to do so, and the others as well. So it's just a disgrace, in my opinion. Just don't do it, Liverpool. Just listen, please, to the correct decision, and not do this anyway. But this is what the Premier League anyway had to tweet out about it anyway. They did put out an official statement, as you can see right here. Of course, the Premier League media release confirmed the Premier League condemns European Super League proposal. The Premier League condemns any proposal that attacks the principles to open competition and sporting merit, which are the heart of domestic and European football pyramid. Fans of any club in England and across Europe can currently dream that their team may climb to the top and play against the best. We believe that the concept of European Super League would destroy this dream. The Premier League is proud to run a competitive and complaining football competition that has made it the most widely watched league in the world. Our success has enabled us to make an unrivaled financial contribution to the domestic football period. A European Super League will underestimate the appeal to the whole game and have a deeply damaging impact on the immediate future prospects to the Premier League and its member clubs and all of those in football who rely on our funding and solidarity to prosper. We will work with the fans, the FA, the EFL, the PFA, and the LMA, as well as other stakeholders at home and abroad to defend the integrity and the future prospects of English football in the best interest of the game. Now, of course, it's one of these damaging things where, look, it is very, very, very damaging that. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Yeah, it is very, very damaging. And look, the Premier League are very, very fuming about this. I believe La Liga have also put out a statement concerning the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona. But as you can see, I believe they did put out another statement. I couldn't find it. They may have deleted it, but it was saying that, you know, if teams were to go on and do this, then they would indeed get you know, thrown out the league and, you know, just completely separated away from it anyway. And look, rightfully so, in my opinion anyway. Look, the Premier League is the Premier League and it has its rules. It has is you know, set boundaries, and look, for me, like I said, the elite football is Champions League football, and if Liverpool realistically want to go on and, you know, do this, then, you know, it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit us, doesn't benefit the fans, doesn't benefit the Premier League, doesn't benefit, you know, the lower league teams. It would just benefit, you know, FSG and that type of, you know, people as well. And am I against it? Fully. I'm fully against the Super League. I think Jurgen spoke back in 2019. I've seen a quote saying, you know, he would be totally against the Super League. So if Liverpool was to go on and do it, does that mean that Jurgen, you know, would think about leaving Liverpool? You know, do FSU really want to risk that? And look, I think Klopp, Jurgen is the type of man that would, you know, go, yeah, I'm gonna leave because, you know, I have my principles and I'm gonna leave for him anyway. But guys, let me know your thoughts anyway before we hear about Gary Neville. Anyway, Chris says, oh, I already read that one out. My apologies. The Super League is a disgrace for ruining football, says Seamus Moore. I'm done with football if it happens. Actually, I'm supporting my local team, Carlisle. Well, I support them anyway, says Chris. Seamus says, Gary Neville was spot on with everything he said, and every team deserves punishment. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. No questions about it. We can hope it doesn't happen. Fingers crossed, mate, but I just have that funny feeling that they're going to push this now all the way. It will prove they don't care about the lower league clubs going Bush League One. I think the past League One and League Two clubs on edge. Well, you look at it, if COVID hadn't happened, would this be a thing? Probably not, I would say. I think it's just clubs look at the higher low clubs looking at it. You know, remember when, you know, back when, you know, Barry was getting, you know, administrated and all of this, how we said on you know, why can't Manchester United, why can't Manchester City come together and help out that team? I think it was only, what, 25 million, I think it was, or 20 million that, you know, they was needing to survive. And, you know, what's that to top tier Premier League clubs, especially one that has, you know, Arab owners, you know, the Prince of Prince of Abu Dhabi, I believe he is, the Manchester City owner. And look, you know, what is 20 million to them? Absolutely nothing. Is, you know, it's change practically towards them. You know, why can't they, you know, help out lower league teams and all like that? And you know, I think we've all said that, you know, of course, every single club around the world has seriously, you know, felt the harshness of COVID. They have, quite clearly, but not as like as the clubs like League One, League Two, you know, National League, Conference League, you know, all of these things. And I think that is what, you know, football needs to look at more. And I know that the EFL have looked at it and looked to try and help it out. And I think, they've probably done the best they probably could do, but it's down to the Premier League. It's down to, all of these to help the lower league teams, because look, that's football. Look at Leicester. Look at Leicester. Teams like Leicester, Swansea, all these teams that were down League Two, League Ones, and have come up. Leicester as an example of like come up and up and up, and gone on to win. The Premier League itself. Yes, it should never have happened, but it did happen, and that's the beauty of football. Realistically, I believe FIFA haven't put out a statement, anything about it anyway. I believe we're going to be hearing from Liverpool at 9:30. I believe UEFA going to say something as well at 9:30. I also think it will be FIFA as well. Will put something out at 9:30 as well. But check out Twitter, guys. Twitter, and we'll put things out on there as soon as we hear it. Anyway. Sam, go away with the comments. I can see you in the comments, you little shite. Siwa says Guy Neville was spot on with everything he said. Team says are punished. We read that one out. We can hope it doesn't happen. Sam, what a Kieran. For God's sake, Sam. Chris says, as Guy Neville said, the owners are bottle merchants. They won't speak out on it. They will talk absolute dribble, and we were only thinking about it. You shouldn't think about it. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Let me see if I can actually get this Gary Neville clip. To be fair, because he does hit it, perfectly. Nailed on. Like, of course, we shouldn't really like Guy Neville because Guy Neville's Guy Neville, but what he said was absolutely perfect, and I do absolutely agree with it. Let me share the audio. There you go, you lovely people. Right, let me see if this works. There we go. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear it anyway. It is on loud anyway, but let me know if you can hear it in the comments anyway. And I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. And look, Guy Neville, I said that perfectly. But and I can see a couple of you in the comments going, "Yeah, the owners don't care." And for me, they don't care. Let me see, Doug. I can see your comment. Let me see if I can put it in the chat, because to be fair, I don't have Twitter. I do have Twitter open, but I don't have the thing open. Right, there we go. Doug, if you want to join, it is in the chat right now anyway. But yeah, look, it's a statement needs to come out from the club, speaking about it. Is it the fact where Liverpool, will the fans do a protest? Can we do a safe protest with it? Potentially. But look, at the end of the day, it is disgraceful. At the end of the day, I don't think Liverpool should be doing this. And like Gary Neville said, but Liverpool's meant to be about the people, and quite clearly FSG are not doing that, and it's wrong in my opinion. And I would absolutely agree with what Guy Neville said there. Anyway, of course, Chris, as Guy Neville said, I already read that one. I'm sorry. John's in saying, "Green, good people. Hope you are well. Hopefully you're well as well, John." We have Douglas. Doug is in. He's currently sorting out his camera. Oh, there we go. Right, let's get Doug in. I can see him at the bottom of the screen. Anyway, hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thoughts on Super League? Are you up for it?
I mean, I am absolutely livid. Honestly, like when I first saw that, I just could not believe what was actually happening. It's just pure greed, pure money greed from every top six club that want to go there. We've got American owners. Manchester United have got American owners, and Stan Kroenke is the American owner of Arsenal. Now, the problem I have with this is that I saw something that apparently Stan Kroenke is like the chairman of this, and then John W. Henry, and then obviously the Glazers. None of these owners care about our football clubs, and that's the problem we have today. Is that none of these owners care about our football clubs. You look at the what FSG did a couple of seasons ago, like that £77 a ticket, like that 77-minute walkout against Sunderland. Like they don't care about our football club. You may think that they like some fans may think that FSG have done they've done some marvelous things for us, but the point is they are not football people. They are more baseball people, and if this is the direction that football is going, I don't want to be a part of it.
Well, yeah, it was back. Remember when obviously COVID first started? Of course, they furloughed all the staff, and all of us were outraged by that. And then they they rightfully changed their mind because all of us were fuming about it. And I think the same thing will happen again. I think Jurgen will probably be fuming about it because I believe in 2019 he did an interview about it and said that there isn't a football world that the Super League should even be a thought process,
Yeah.
and that that puts his position I think under threat a little bit if it did go ahead because we know with Dortmund he wasn't happy with a few things at Dortmund and he decided to leave and quite honestly that could happen again. And of course, I don't think any of us want to happen, but it might happen. Like that's the sad reality of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of overshadowed what has been quite an interesting weekend. I mean, it's probably been the best weekend for us because obviously West Ham lost to Newcastle. And we should really be talking about the Leeds game, and yet we're talking about something that unfortunately we don't really want to be a part of. And it says a lot when the best two German clubs, Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich, have said no to this. So I really, really hope that they have a rethink of this because the thing about being, punished and, being thrown out of the I mean, imagine Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea being thrown out of the Premier League. That would just be incredible. But I really do hope that doesn't happen. But you know what? I've been a Liverpool fan all my life. And this just disgusts me. This just absolutely disgusts me. I'll be discussing this on the podcast tomorrow, and I'm going to have a big, full-blown rant about it because I am not a happy bunny about this either. And you know what? I'm pretty sure the majority of us are not happy.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. 100%. Ryanson saying the top six are a disgrace. That is as simple as it is. Yeah, absolutely. Let's also put Cardiff, says Sam. Statement should be out straight away. No excuse. Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. United, Liverpool, Arsenal are the main worries. Them three have built such a huge history, etc. between them. Chelsea and City don't actually surprise me. Yeah. There was reported it was reported earlier on that Man City did reject it as well, but that turned out to be a lie, and they agreed with it, as we've quite clearly seen from all the statements tonight. Can hear it. Thank you. With that, can hear it loud and clear, Neville. With straight facts. Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Bike's in saying, yeah, Bike. If you're not aware, European Super League. That is what we're talking about. Of course, I had to laugh as well. I think I did show this as well, but they actually come up with a logo with it as well, which is actually terrible. That genuinely reminds me of ITV 2003 Champions League. I don't it just does remind me of it. What else do we have?
Do you remember the PlayStation game you used to get? I think there was UEFA Champions League. I think it was 1999, 2000. Like I had that game, and then I had the 2000, 2001 one. That has the same sort of logo as that, but instead it's got more to it. Yeah, look, they've just basically copied a logo from 1999, 2000. Quite some.
Bloody hell! I imagine if that was actually the case that they, meant doing this whole billion again thing, and then they actually use it a logo back in the 1997. Jesus Christ! Owners only care about their pockets. They don't care, or probably even know the club's history that they own. Yeah, I agree with that. Look at Man City. For example, look, Man City. Their history began in 2010. Look to the owners, and that's the thing about it, especially at the top six clubs, says Ryan. That was me sharing the link. Let me go back up. Callum LFC's in saying, yo, hello Callum, hopefully you're having a fantastic day, mate. Evening lads, what the fuck are these lot taking the piss? Yeah, well, just check Twitter. Jeannie, do check Twitter out. I don't like it. Port from FSG. Yep, agree with that. Sarah says,
And also the fact is that this is happening in the midst of a pandemic as well.
Well, that's what I said earlier. It's like if the pandemic hadn't happened, would we be talking about this? I don't think we would be.
I don't think we would be, but
No.
it's absolutely disgusting that these clubs have taken advantage of a global pandemic and we are only like 6-7 games away from the end of the season as well, and the fact that they've gone through this in mid season is really really annoying.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. Of course, I believe if things go okay at the minute, Liverpool will have fans back in for the last game of the season. I believe it'll be 10,000 people in at Anfield. I think, could there be a protest there about it? Like, I think there'll most definitely be, if of course if Liverpool have signed that agreement or whatever it was, I think there'll definitely be people outside Anfield probably tomorrow or even tonight, kicking up a fuss about it, because I think I think all of us are pissed off about it. There's no two ways about it anyway. But Perez at Real Madrid apparently will run this Super League, says Seamus Moore. Be interesting if that's true. Reminds me of FIFA Legends. Lol. Says Carlo. Honestly, if this comes about, I am out, and I don't know for how long. Says Jeannie. Callum says Liverpool women team instead of Cardiff. To be fair, yeah, that sounds perfect. Thompson says looks like Pro Evo 6 Master League logo. That's a shout. That's a shout. To be fair.
Yeah.
John's in saying, what John's already in, says, why is anyone surprised that the big six care more about their own pockets than others? Shame on UEFA for thinking that clubs that make them all that money wouldn't want a bigger piece of the pie. Yeah, I agree with that. That's the sad reality of it, and sad reality of football. Anyway, Jackson saying, evening lads, hope you're all safe. Ryan said, don't think anyone is surprised that the big clubs, when it comes to the money, want to go. People are simply pissed off about it. Yeah, that puts it straight there anyway. But we'll leave the Super League stuff there. We can go on about it for 25 minutes. If I got time tomorrow, we might do a bit more in-depth video about it, because there is actually so much to actually dive in and talk about, and what will happen, and if it did happen, and what happens to the Premier League if that was the case anyway. But yeah, if you guys want that video, then please let me know in the comment section down below anyway. But let's talk about Leeds versus Liverpool. Of course, the whole news today have actually it's stuck away from the game tomorrow, to be fair, and it probably will tomorrow as well. But Doug, how are you feeling about Leeds tomorrow? It's a must-win game for Liverpool anyway, to try and get into the Champions League that we're trying to get out of as well.
Yeah, look, I think obviously the last game between the sides was an absolute goal fest. Obviously me and my good friend Carl, we did a watch along to that, and we couldn't believe that game. We had a 4-3 victory. But going into the game, I think they've got a few defensive problems. I think two of their main centre backs are injured. So it's basically Liverpool, basically. We've not had our two best centre backs for a while, and now Leeds are out without their two best centre backs. So it's going to be very interesting. And also the news is that Rafinha looks like he's touch and go for this game as well. If Leeds missed out and if Leeds miss him, he could be a big blow for sure. So I'm fairly confident going into this game. I think because of our recent away record, I think we can go there and win. I think the last game between the sides was a 2-2 draw. I think that was in the 2003-2004 season. But these kind of games you wish there were fans at, for sure, because Leeds Liverpool. I remember Leeds Liverpool games from early 2000s, and we all had the Danny Mills and Danny Murphy, and I still think Leeds. I think Leeds have had a fantastic season, and we have to be wary of the fact that they beat Manchester City last week. So I'm quietly confident going into this game. For sure, it'll be a cracking game again. I'm really looking forward to this game.
Yeah, and like you said, then Leeds have had a fantastic season. They have had a fantastic season. I think I think all of us maybe thought at the start of the season, watching, their style of football and looking how they approach the Premier League, I think all of us thought, oh, they could, push towards Europa League. They could even, surprise us, like kind of like what West Ham's done this season and, pushed on for Champions League. But of course, they didn't do that. They did fall off a little bit. But to be fair, that's, I think, comes with expectation. I think, there were a few shouts that Leeds could be down the relegation area, but to be fair to them, they have done very, very well in, being in that mid-table bracket. And look, they haven't looked like, to be fair, they haven't looked like they've struggled at all this year, even though I know they've been battered by, I think, what was it, Manchester United 5-2 or 5-1, something like that early on in the season, and they've had a couple of bad results that way. But I think, look, they've been brilliant. And like you said, for me, Rafinha's been their key guy for me. I think, look, Bamford as well, probably up there with one of the most informed strikers in the league right now, let alone English.
I think on the point about Bamford, I think he's actually proven a lot of people wrong. I think he's proven me. I didn't think he would be able to, hack it in the Premier League, but you have to say I think he's had a fantastic season. And the thing is, like, he's had a couple of goals where he should probably have had. There's been a couple of goals where he's been disallowed. I remember the Palace one, the VAR decision, where he thought he was offside with his arm. He was never offside. So.
We don't talk about VAR. We don't talk about VAR.
I think we'd be here all day if we talked about VAR.
Don't you dare get me on that conversation with VAR. Ryan said the Anfield game was amazing to watch. Yeah, if it's anything like that game, then I think all of us need new hearts after the game. Anyway, in that
probably
sense,
any fingernails by the end of it.
Probably not. That's the thing now, and the worst thing is Liverpool have to win every single game from now on to even have a chance of getting into the Champions League. But to be fair, if we're going into the Super League, who bloody cares? But no, of course, I'm kidding with that anyway. But moving on then to starting 11 predictions. This is what I think Liverpool will line up against Leeds. It's probably a surprise person in there that I think many people won't agree with. But here is the team. I'm going to go with Alisson Becker in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Nat Phillips, Kabak, and Robbo. That's normal back, and even Fabinho. I think Thiago will play, and I also got Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in there. He brought him on, I believe, what was it? I think he was like the third substitution against Real Madrid, and I think Jurgen's going to use him against Leeds and try and push forward from the midfield. And then I've gone with Mo Salah, Thiago Jota, and Sadio Mane, leaving Bobby Firmino on the bench to come on then later on in the game. Anyway, Doug, is that a similar lineup as what you got for the weekend? Monday, sorry.
I've probably got one other player in there. I've got Shaqiri in from the start. I think Shaqiri did well against. I think he did well against Aston Villa when he came on. I think he really changed the game. So I think Shaqiri will get the start. But I do agree with that midfield. I think Wijnaldum needs a rest. I think he's getting tired. I think so. I think Wijnaldum out, and then Thiago, and I would say I'd say Shaqiri, but I agree with most. I agree with the front three and the back four, and the only change I would make is probably Shaqiri and for Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah, but I think if Curtis Jones was fit, I think he'd be in there for me without a shadow of a doubt. But because he is injured, then it's a toss up. Who do you want? Do you want Gini? Do you want Naby? Do you want Ox? Do you want Shaqiri? Do you want Bobby in there? It is just a toss up. To be fair, anyway. But score predictions for tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go 2-0 Liverpool. I think Jota. Okay. I think I'm gonna go Jota and Mo to get a goal as well.
I am going to go. I've stuck with this for all week. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool. I do think they'll score. I can see, bloody hell, I can see Dallas scoring because he seems to be on absolute fire right now. He scored the 2 goals against Manchester City, so I'd expect him to score. and I am going to go for Jota, and I'm going to go Mo, and I am going to go for Thiago to get his first Liverpool goal.
Well, he almost got one against Villa, and then Trent scored it. So as long as it's a goal, I don't bloody care. As long as Liverpool win, I don't bloody care. So, but yeah, guys, let us know in the comment section anyway your score prediction and your team anyway. Seamus gone with 3-1 to Liverpool. Genie's gone for Alisson, Trent, Phillips, Kabak, Robbo, Fabinho, Genie, Milner, Salah, Mane, and Firmino. Yeah. Could obviously put Milner in there, but I think he's played 3 games in a row now, and I think a bit of fatigue could come in. Anyway, with that, of course, and then Seamus, lad, I think Genie's gone for the same scoreline, 3-1 there anyway for Liverpool anyway. But guys, I think we're going to leave it there for tonight. Planning to do a shorter anyway, if you want to call it that, match preview show. We was talking a little bit about, of course, the the Super League anyway. If you guys want to go back to that, be watching it on repeat anyway, and go and watch us sadly talk about a league that hopefully never ever happens anyway. And we've talked a little bit about the Leeds game anyway, of course. Look, that's just hope Liverpool can win and put all the headlines on themselves for winning a game of football, which would be fantastic. And I think that would be the better thing anyway for us to do on Monday night anyway. Of course, it is on Monday Night Football, so guys, go and check that out. Probably Sky Sports will have a whole thing about it tomorrow as well, before the game, of course, as well. Probably Cara is going to be raging about it on Monday Night Football anyway. But yeah, Doug, thank you for coming on, mate. Very much a pleasure as always. Guys, if you want to check out on Twitter anyway, if there's any news, we'll of course be on Twitter. Check us out if you're not already on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Please go and check out Jug's channel as well. Of course, tomorrow would be is the podcast as usual on a Monday. Of course, all the links are in the video description down below. Please go and check it out. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, there's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council, and we'll see you all later on.